Shalom, shalom, Israel. You see what's on the screen, and you see the title. A prideful generation will not listen. Lord willing, I'm not gonna make this too long. I'm only just gonna bring out a few scriptures, right? And you see the word meaning for the word prideful. It means full of pride, marked by or full of pride. When you look at the blue letter, arrogant, right? Being proud is being arrogant, right? So, like you see the title again, a proud generation, a proudful generation will not listen. Lord willing, this is edifying to the spirit. First and foremost, I want to give our praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, Yahweh being the Most High God, and Yahushai is who the world and he calls Jesus the Christ. Rakah is spirit, and Quadash is holy. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders in Great Millstone who've been ruling well through the spirit, from Elder Tahar on down, that have been teaching his word and believing his word, and the mighty shalom to the hopeful elect scattered four corners of the earth and four corners of America, in congregations and out congregations, teaching his word and believing his word. Lord willing, through the spirit that you endured, Lord willing, the Most High have us singing the same thing. And shalom to the wives and the single sisters out there that is true believers. Lord willing, the Most High can continue to endure and to continue to be believers of this word, and to pursue being a virtuous woman and a loving and silent wife to the best of your ability. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. So the first scripture we're going to go to, this was inspired technically by, it was another brother. I just seen his title. It was Black Sister bringing out, saying why she believes Israel was going through the things that they're going through. And she's explaining that it's really because, Israel rebelled against the Most High Yahweh. And that's good. Then it's a whole lot. Then I'm watching another brother bring out, it's this dude named Jason Love. He was a porn star, of course. I mean, he is a porn star. And a lot of us is going to know who he is. And I guess a white Edomite family, a wife, and her husband was asking for this man to come over and do his thing. And the husband was going to record. It was just some weird shit. And wickedness wax worse and worse. The more the world get old, the more it wax old, right? And I'm just going to jump off to Matthew chapter 12. So I can go. It's late at night over here. But this is the KJV is on the right hand side, and the Good News Translation is on the left side. So I am going to read verse 43 to 45. And it reads, when the unclean spirit was gone out of a man, he walked through dry places seeking rest, and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept and garnished. This is the point. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. And they entered in and dwelled there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation, right? Our wicked generation is going to wax worse and worse. They're going to be prideful, proudful, lazy, adulterous, idolatrous, right? Fornicators, right? Which is going to go into idolatry, incest, bestiality, right? And true non-believers, right? It's a lot of wicked men and women that's not even striving for the Lord, but they're totally saying they're calling on the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? And this is just a side precept I'm going to go to, which is in Luke 6, verse 46. Luke 6:46. It reads, "And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say?" And that's this wicked generation, right? The wicked seed always, always, from past tense to present to future, they're going to always not do the will of the Lord. They're going to always be in wickedness, going to always not listen, right? It has to be a difference between righteous and unrighteous. So, like y'all, I believe it's Sirach 33. I'm going to just get the precept myself um, in my physical Bible. This is Sirach chapter 33. And I'm going to start at 13. It says, "As the clay is in the potter's hand, to fashion it as his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him, to render to them as liking him best. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly." We have to understand eventually, uh, uh, when you actually are removed from the wickedness that's going on in this generation, our nation, right? You're going to put on the armor of Yahweh Shema Shai. Things are going to look way different when you step out of that wicked, rebellious act, right? But in the eyes of the Lord, the righteous, the elect do not sin in the eyes of the Lord. You have to know you were predestined to get the kingdom. You were predestined to walk this walk, right? Um, I really didn't want to get it, but I might as well get it since I'm over here saying something. Right? This is Ephesians chapter 1, and I believe we just gonna go straight to the point. Yeah, I'm gonna start at verse 4. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4. "According as he have chosen us in him before the foundations of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love, having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Yahweh Mashiach to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will." You go to Romans the 9th chapter, verse 4, right? The elect, right, is going to get that adoption, right? They're going to come back into the service of the Lord, come back into the law, come back into the ministry, right? None of us really remember our past, right? And this is why the elect, even from a child, is going to fight that battle between the flesh and the spirit. And then it's going to be revealed more on and on the more that you are devouring the ministry of the Lord. The Lord will have you change the way you think, the way you move, right? What comes out of you verbally, right? And what comes in you, right? The elect is going to move different, but the wicked generation is going to always be being in mischief, always be an abomination, always be in the left-hand side of the Lord. And most likely will be confused and not know why things is happening, but might think that is a supernatural left-hand side witch or some, or I'm just having no luck. God wouldn't put me through this. A lot of us wouldn't know because the Lord will put us in strong delusions. I'm just going to use these verses to smack us in the face. This is Proverbs chapter 30, verse 11 to 15 in the GNT. Make sure you're paying attention. It says, "There are people who curse their fathers and do not show their appreciation for their mothers," right? And wicked children, like mothers, are they're birthing monstrous children. But even if your children, they slip up here and there, you know what I'm saying? Hey, a lot of us been children, right? But if you're raising your kids in this ministry, our kids should definitely, not be defiant, right? Let alone you're going to discipline them and they're going to fix it. Let's read it again. It says, there are people who curse their fathers and do not show their appreciation for their mothers. There are people who think that they are pure, right? pure like cocaine, right? When they are as filthy as they can be, right? I am pursuing to be righteous. Maybe what looks like it could be righteous, but you don't want to. Some of us feel like we're righteous and we're just throwing the towel. I don't need no more, right? You want to be humbled in this thing. I might look like I'm doing good. I might look like I'm on fire, but I have to double up. I still have to, even if I look like I am, I still got to go even more. You could be on fire, but are you keeping it? Do you have that fame, that flame? Do you have that fuel? Do you have that oil to keep being on fire? Right? It says there are people who think that they are so good. Oh, how good they think they are. There are people who take cruel advantage of the poor and needy. That is why they make their living, right? Hey, even the elites, the wicked nation of Idumea and other nations, they make their living off us. But even look at the wicked on the left hand side, drug dealers. I was one of those wicked fools, strippers, right? Even brothers that's in the industry, they might be doing something, right? But at the end of the day, if they're not in the ministry, most of the stuff that they do is no good, right? It says a leech has two children, and both are named Give Me. Both are named Give Me. There are four things that are never satisfied. Now, I didn't want to read this, but I'll just read it. Verse 16. It says, the world of the dead, a woman without children, dry ground that needs rain, and a fire burning out of control. Right? Hey, that's just like what happened in Canada. Right? If it's not being maintained, it's gonna burn out of control. The ground is not gonna be satisfied if it's no water, like it's no water. We need water. You gotta know this earth, trees, plants, birds, they need water too, right? A woman without children, some women like, oh, I don't even care. But if you really in this ministry, a woman is gonna desire to have children. Besides that, she's gonna desire to have children by a righteous man, right? The world of the dead, right? This valley of shadow of death is the world of the dead. Look, Israel is symbolic to Lazarus, right? And the men of the Lord that's out here doing their due diligence is speaking to the dead, trying to rise them up, right? And speak life into them, that they flesh grow on their bones, and they grow eyes that can actually see, and actually have ears that can actually hear, right? But not to hold it on long, not to hold that too long, right? Then when you go to Isaiah, not Isaiah, Salaki, Luke, no, 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 no. Luke chapter 1, and we're going to start at verse 50, right? Luke chapter 1, verse 50 to, oh, shoot, what the heck? Salaki, y'all. Luke chapter 1, verse 50 to 55. And it reads, his mercy is on them that fear him from generation to generation. His compassion is on them that fear him. Fearing the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A lot of us don't fear the Lord. If you was fearing him, you would try to hear what the prophecies are saying. What's coming next? The parables, the dark sayings, the sincere milk. These things is for our protection. These things is going to get us ready for the trouble, because we're going to need protection. But the proud do not fear the Lord from generation to generation, all the way from Noah's time, all the way to uh, Jonah's time, all the way to Lot's time, all the way to Babylonia, to the Babylonians, all the way to the Persians, all the way to the Greeks, all the way to the Romans, all the way to the Arabs, the Africans, or the Hamites, if you want to say, all the way coming to America and many other countries, right? Generation to generation. He have showed strength with his arm. He have scattered the proud in the imagination of their hearts. That's why they're tossed to and fro. First Thessalonians 5. Salaki, Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 11. The Lord has given our people strong delusion that they will believe a lie, right? Verse 52, he have put down the mighty from their seats, right? The rich, the ones in power, the kings, and exalted them of low decree, right? And this is what we're waiting for, to be exalted. Coming in the truth is a form of us, being exalted from our lowest state of being ignorant to the ways of the Lord, right? Desiring the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Shai, right? But the rich and mighty is going to fall and they won't get back up in the low, because only the meek shall inherit the earth. Matthew, the 5th chapter, right? I think is either verse 5 or verse 7, right? The meek shall inherit the earth, right? And they're gonna be exalted from a low decree. And he hath filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he hath sent empty away, right? And yeah. He hath hoppen his servant Israel in remembrance of his mercy, as he spake to our fathers, to Abraham, and to his seed forever and ever. The Lord is always dealing with his elect, right? You might not see it because you might not be one. You might not see it because the Lord got you in a delusion, right? Until the Lord takes that veil off of you, right? We're waiting on the Lord to work, right? The Lord is waiting on you to make the decision. Is either you choosing life or death, right? Psalms chapter 100, verse 5. It says, for Yahweh Shem Shai is good, and his mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth to all generations. So it's no excuses. Like Yarmayan was telling me at work, it is no excuses why you couldn't get this. When you go to First Ezra, the 3rd chapter, the whole chapter, the 3rd chapter and the 4th chapter, but it tells you 3 bodyguards. One said wine is the strongest, one said the king is the strongest, and the third said the woman is the strongest, but the truth take away the victory. And when you read the 4th chapter, after it talks about the woman, which is in chapter 4, verse 22 to 27, you'll get the understanding that the truth is going to take away the victory. This whole world and earth, especially America, is going to be passed away, right? But the truth of the ministry, the word would never die out, would never be passed away, right? Let alone is going to live forever. And the elect is going to live forever. Israel is going to live forever. We're going to be gods, right? And that's why you want to endure. If the truth is enduring, you should be enduring. If the world is going to waste away, you want to pursue not to be wasted away, right? You want to pursue to win the approval of the Most High, so you can gain the glory, right? We're gonna go to Philippians chapter 2. I'm gonna read in the G&T first, and then I'll read in the KJV. The main point is really in the G&T, but I'm gonna just read it in both, just for edification's sake, right? Philippians chapter 2, verse 15 and 16. That's the KJV. Okay. So in the G&T on the left-hand side, it says, so that you may be innocent and pure as the Most High's perfect children. Only the elect is going to be innocent and pure, who live in a world of corrupt and sinful people. We live with the proud generation. We live with the wicked seed. You must shine among them like stars lighting up the sky, right? This is why people look at you as being illuminated, like the Bruce Leroy, as you offer them the message of life. If you do so, I shall have reason to be proud of you on the day of Hamashiach, because you endure to the end, because it will show that all my effort and work have not been wasted. When you look at the first verse in Philippians chapter 1, it tells you that this is Paul. Paul is speaking, right? This is a letter, right? In the KJV, it says that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as light in the world, holding forth the word of life, that I may rejoice in the day of Hamashiach, that I have not run in vain, neither labored in vain. Right? This is why when brothers say, make your call and election sure, right? The kingdom is promised for the elect on this side, right? Man, it's all about getting that glory on the right-hand side, man. And if I said the left-hand side, please forgive me. I meant the right-hand side. So you go to Psalms chapter 12, and I'm gonna read the whole joint because it was fire. It was fire when I was reading it, man. It was fire, and this is a motivation, right? This is Psalms chapter 12, verse 1 to 8, right? And it says, a prayer for help against the wicked, right? So you can put this in your arsenal if you want. I mean, you should, shoot, I should too, right? It says, help, Yahweh, for the godly man seizeth, for the faithful fail from among the children of men, right? We fell from the children of men, right? When you read in the G and say, help us, Lord, help us, Yahweh, there is not a good person left. Honest people can no longer be found. All of them lie to one another. They deceive each other with flattery, right? But we need the faithful fail among the children of men, right? The faithful would be the elect. The faithful would be the wheat. The wheat is in the midst of the tares, right? And we need to get plucked out, right? And it's some that the Lord put and removed them and put them in their own aisle, right? It says they speak vanity, everyone with his neighbor, with flattering lips, and with a double heart or double mind do they speak. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall cut off all flattering lips, and the tongue that speaketh proud things. The Lord is going to cut off. I just said a proud generation. The Lord is going to cut off the proud. Luke chapter 12, verse 51. They say that Yahushua is coming with peace. No, he's coming with division. Who have said with our tongue, will we prevail? Our lips are our own. Who is Lord over us? For the oppression of the poor, for the sighing of the needy, now will I arise, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at him, which is the wicked in Israel, but really, technically, the wicked that is ruling the nation of Idumea, the so-called white men and women. They're puffed up. The words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai are pure words, right? They're pure as silver tried in the furnace of earth, purified 7 times. Thou shalt keep them, O Yahweh. Thou shalt preserve them from this generation forever. That's why I brought up predestined. The elect is preserved to make it in the end. right? It says the wicked walk on every side when the veilless men are exalted. They walk on every side. They walk on the left side. We're about to just go to that precept that I had, right? Second Corinthians. Second Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. And it says, no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light, right? So you have to know it's even wicked. It's wicked. Of course, it's wicked in our nation, of course, because this is what this is going into. And guess what? Satan turns into light. Israel is the light, right? Right? Satan can be upon somebody that's possessed, like the first verse we brought out in Matthew, right? In order for us to do things on the left-hand side, a wicked spirit from the left-hand side has to be upon us, right? And that's why you'll have brothers like just was on Clubhouse a few days ago, and you had a brother that used to be with Sakari, and then this man left the ministry, and now he OT only. It's certain, like a lot of things. He came out with Shabba Dabba Ding Dong, Shabba Dabba Doo, and Shabba Dabba Scooby Doo. He came off with a lot of left trigger square, right? Well, before he was in the light, but in the whole duality, if he don't change, man, he was never in the ministry. And he just had a spirit of Satan on him, man, right? And there's a lot of brothers that come in this, the Lord will use to come in this thing to damn near be they're probably a spiritual agent, right? And that's the Lord testing you. The Lord will bring a smooth teacher, somebody that can perform all these different precepts, all these other things, and it will trick you, right? But this is First Peter chapter 5, verse 6. It says, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time. Humble yourself. Like the song say, humble me, humble yourself. Therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time. Right? Be lowly in here. Pick up your cross every day, right? Every day you work and every day you carry your cross. You might take a 5-minute break, right? Always want to have that thought on your mind, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is coming, man. This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 51, verse 10 to 12. Where we at? Okay. And it reads, I call upon Yahweh Shemashai, the Father of my Lord, that he would not leave me in the days of my trouble and in the time of the proud, when there was no help. I will praise thy name continually. What is his name? Yahweh is the most high name. Bahashim in the name, Yahweh Shai, who the world only calls Jesus Christ. That's ancient Hebrew, right? Not no Yehuda, not Yahweh, not Yeshua, and not Jesus Christ. That's what the world, that's what the world ignorantly calls him. I will praise thy name continually. I will sing praise with thanksgiving. And so my prayer was heard, right? We got to be thankful that the Lord even dealing with you. Yo, you got to even thank him for another day. But who is it that you thanking the Lord for another day and you about to go eat a pork sandwich? You thanking the Lord every day, but you just got done doing 4th of July, right? Don't just look at the little things and say the Lord blessing you, but you have no knowledge. Be thankful you even breathe in air when you like, a lot of us should be destroyed, but the Lord is patient. Right? Can't nobody stop what the Lord is going to do. But for your own life, the Lord is patient. Hey, he might not bring you in here a week, 2 weeks, a month, a day, 2 months, 6 months, a year. It might take you until you're 21. 18, 16, 25, 27, 30, 40, 50. Man's going as of the Lord. When the Lord see fit that you're ready, he's going to bring you. But you should be thankful, let alone if you got somebody that can answer your questions, somebody that's not confusing you. Now, look, me, I can be watching brothers. I want to watch brothers that's teaching the same thing. Because if I watch somebody that's not, I'm going to be asking the person that I'm watching over here, ask them a question of something I heard over here. And then if I heard something over here, I'm going to ask this person over here, why you don't say this? Or do you see this the same way this is? It's going to be confusion. The Lord don't work like that, right? We got to be thankful on seeing brothers doing the work, right? Because the work is not just saying you know it all and you're not doing the work. You're only out, you only waiting for that one person to hit you up, but you can't see it. Social media, you make posts, you show pictures, clap bravo, but you ain't bringing out you should be feeding the flock, right? With a scripture of the day, breaking the scripture down, reading a YouTube video, going on the corner, like watching videos, sharing videos. This is what this brother said. Like the word should be continuous, especially when you don't know nothing, right? And that's even against the old me when I was taking my time, right? Because I wasn't serious, right? The elect, they're serious. So if I know the elect is serious, I have to pursue to be serious, and I have to be thankful, right? It said, and that's why in 1 Thessalonians 5, and I just bring that out on the side, right? Because it goes into don't quench the spirit, right? This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 19. It says, now let me read 18 because we're talking about Thanksgiving. It says, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of the Most High in Hamashiach Yahushai concerning you. Quench not the spirit, right? Don't quench it. The spirit always have to be fed. You want to always be on fire, right? Verse 12, it says, for thou savest me. This is verse 12 in Sirach 51. It says, for thou savest me from destruction and deliverance, right? Deliverance me from the evil time, that Jacob's trouble, those nukes that's hitting, right? Let alone the hour of temptation that's going to happen before that charagma. Therefore will I give thanks and praise thee and bless thy name, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Go read the book of the prayer of Azariah, the three holy children in Apocrypha, right? Read the whole chapter. He got saved from that evil time of the furnace. Azariah, Mishael, and Hananiah, their Babylon name, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. They got saved from the furnace, evil time, and they gave thanks, praise, and they blessed his name. Read the whole chapter, and that's how we got to be every day, right? I mean, you want to try, you want to do it to the best of your ability, right? And this to close out scripture right here. This is Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 27. It says, therefore thou shalt speak all these words unto them, but they will not hearken to thee. Thou shalt also call unto them, but they will not answer. Lord willing, I'm part of the whole elect, right? The real teachers, the real 144,000, the real teachers in his ministry is teaching the word, and our people are not hearkening. The same way how Jeremiah, right? And thou shalt also call unto them, but they will not answer thee. I look at it like this. The same men that were appointed to be teachers in past tense, they were elected to be that, right? And through the spirit, they could have been the elect in that time. The spirit was the elect, not the fleshful men, right? Because we're going to be who we really is, whatever our spirit is, right? This is just a costume. This is just a covering. This is an incubator, right? So the spirit that these brothers had, the wicked go right back in their vomit, right? But the elect is going to always profess and go back to the ways of the Lord, however you see it fit, right? The real men of the Lord is putting a foot to the gas. The real men of the Lord has faith. The real men of the Lord is not ashamed. The real men of the Lord is going to drop a lot of things for Yahweh Shem Shai. Some is just gonna say, fuck it, I don't need none of this. I want the Lord. Some people will go in and go far and beyond for the Lord, right? You got to go hard for the Lord in your own level. Lord willing, the Most High working with you, but you have to know some people are not going to hearken. You might call, they might not even answer. You might ask them a question, they're not going to give an answer. Nobody gives a damn in this proud generation. This is why the title is A Proud Generation Will Not Listen. Anything I said, guess what? A lot of proud people are not going to listen. Hey, and it might be proud people that is going to listen. It might be some brothers that's trying to get in this thing, and then later on they get offended and they might leave all of this, right? Hey, it is what it is, man. I'm not here to teach everybody. I'm only really here for the elect. Lord willing, this was edifying through the Spirit, right? And I want to say, call law Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Rakakwadash. And again, Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahushai is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ. It's your brother Dargabar. Until next time, if I can do it, you can do it. If you can do it, I damn sure can do it. Get it right, get it tight, get your mind right, and get your spirit right. This is not trick or treat, but treat yourself to the marvelous gospel and ministry of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai from beginning to end, because he come in the volume of the book, but do not trick yourself in not pertaining in the ministry, searching, reading, asking questions to diligent men, right? Let alone he's never early and never late. He's always on time, right? Never late. He is always on time. So with that, death to America, death to Esau. Shalom.